Some farmers believe ruminant animals are the backbone of sustainable livestock systems. Others prefer pigs and chickens because they grow fast and bring quicker returns. But when you look at tradition, biology, and long-term farming systems, ruminants often stand out in a unique way. So today, let's compare ruminants and monogastrics and see why many small farmers still choose cattle, sheep, and goats as the foundation of their farms. Before we talk about profits, we need to understand why ruminant animals have earned such a strong reputation. Across history, ruminant animals have held a special place in many cultures and farming traditions. In several regions, pork consumption is limited or avoided, which naturally increased the importance of cattle, sheep, and goats. Because of this long history, ruminants are often associated with natural grazing systems and traditional agriculture. Today, many consumers are also drawn to pasture-raised beef and lamb, seeing them as closer to nature and often perceiving them as having a lower environmental hoofprint when managed properly. But beyond belief or tradition, there is also real biology behind these animals. Let's look at what makes ruminants different on the inside. Ruminants have a complex, four-chambered stomach designed to handle rough forage. Rumen, reticulum, omasum, abomasum. Inside the rumen, billions of microbes, bacteria, protozoa, and fungi break down cellulose and hemicellulose fiber that humans and monogastrics cannot digest. This microbial fermentation produces volatile fatty acids, VFAs, which become the animal's primary energy source, changing nutrients before they enter the animal's body. Because of this process, ruminants can turn simple grass into nutrient-dense meat and milk. This is called upcycling protein. Monogastric animals, like pigs and chickens, have a simple stomach similar to ours, digesting food more directly. What they eat influences their meat composition more quickly, which means feed quality plays a huge role. For example, the flavor of pork is highly influenced by diet. You could say ruminants refine their feed, while monogastrics mirror it. Scientifically, ruminants are fermentative digesters, while monogastrics are enzymatic digesters. And this difference has shaped how people think about nutrition. So let's talk about the health debate and why ruminants are often favored. Many discussions around livestock today focus on fatty acids and feed systems. Because ruminants transform plant fats through a process called biohydrogenation in the rumen, their meat and milk often contain higher levels of beneficial fats, like conjugated linoleic acid, CLA, and omega-3s, especially when grass-fed. This doesn't mean one system is always perfect, but it explains why pasture-raised beef and lamb are often promoted for their potentially improved fat profile in traditional and modern food conversations. At the same time, monogastric animals depend heavily on what they are fed. The omega-6 to omega-3 ratio in chicken eggs, for instance, directly reflects their feed. When feed quality changes, the final product can change too. For farmers who value grass-based production and lower dependence on purchased feed, ruminants often feel like the more natural choice. They can derive 100% of their nutrition from well-managed pasture, a feat impossible for pigs and poultry. But farming decisions are not only about nutrition, they are also about survival and profit. Monogastric animals grow quickly. Broiler chickens can reach market weight in 5 to 7 weeks, and pigs in about 6 months, which helps with fast cash flow. Ruminants take longer to mature. A grass-finished beef steer may take 24 to 30 months. Cattle and sheep require patience, and that slower growth can seem like a disadvantage at first. However, many farmers see this slower system as more stable over time, especially when animals rely more on pasture than expensive feed. It creates a buffer against volatile grain markets. Speed brings income quickly, but resilience often comes from systems built around grazing. And when we compare feed and land use, the strengths of ruminants become even clearer. One of the biggest advantages of ruminants is their ability to convert human inedible cellulose into high-value food. They utilize nearly 70% of the world's agricultural land that is too poor, steep, or arid for crops. For farms with available land, this can reduce dependence on purchased grain and lower long-term costs. Monogastrics usually require more energy-dense and protein-rich, concentrated feeds like corn and soybean meal, which can increase expenses when feed prices rise. The feed conversion ratio, FCR, for broilers is excellent, but it's for grain they can't produce themselves. This is why many small farmers who focus on self-sufficiency often lean toward sheep, goats, or cattle. Grass becomes the foundation, not just an added input. But profitability also depends on what the market wants, and ruminants often carry a strong reputation there too. In many regions, consumers are willing to pay more for grass-fed or pasture-raised products. Grass-fed beef routinely commands a 20 to 30% premium, and lamb can be even higher in niche markets. Beef, lamb, and goat meat often carry a perception of quality, tradition, and natural production. Chicken and pork dominate high-volume commodity markets where thin margins are offset by scale. But ruminants frequently hold a premium position, especially in niche or direct-to-consumer systems. They are a cornerstone of the local food movement. Imagine two farms. One produces fast-growing broilers for steady weekly income. The other raises pasture-fed sheep and sells whole or half lambs directly to local buyers at a higher price. Both can succeed, but many farmers prefer the long-term brand value and lower input costs that come with ruminant systems. So what is the real lesson from all this? Ruminants may not grow as quickly, but they offer something different. The ability to turn marginal land into value, build strong farm identity, and connect with traditional and premium markets. Monogastrics provides speed and feed efficiency in controlled environments. Ruminants provide land-based stability and input independence. For farmers who value grazing, resilience, and long-term systems, ruminants often become the heart of the farm. And that leads us to one final thought. Belief influences markets. Biology shapes how animals grow. But your farm's success comes from choosing the system that fits your land, your resources, and your market. For me, ruminant animals represent a powerful balance between nature and farming. But I'd love to hear your opinion. If you had to choose only one, would you raise ruminants or monogastrics? Consider your land type, climate, and target customer. Let me know in the comments and subscribe to Livestock Insights for more practical livestock comparisons.